Hey everyone, welcome to Tree Talk. My name is Lauren. I'm kind of going to be the host of this episode, and we're just going to go around and introduce ourselves. Say like hometown, sport, year, and major. I can go first. I'm Lauren Green from Castro Valley, California. I play basketball here at Stanford. I'm going to be a junior, and I'm a design major.
I'll go ahead and go next. I'm Madison Romain. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. I run track and field here at Stanford. I'm going to be a junior also, and I'm a civil engineering major.
I can go next. I'm Jason Thomson, from Los Angeles, California. I play football. I am about to be a junior, and I'm an MSNE major.
My name is Dylan Davis. I'm from Seattle, Washington. I'm on the track and field team here, and I'm going to be an MSNE major as well.
Awesome. And so for our new viewers, listeners, you might be wondering like what is Tree Talk? So Tree Talk started out as a way for Stanford student athletes to share their passions outside of their sport. So we can truly get to see each of these athletes as the human beings that they are first, and that the Stanford student that they are, not just the athlete tagged on at the end. And this summer, it is a little bit more difficult to get a ton of different athletes to be interviewed in person. So we are introducing this podcast format so we can reach a wider range of athletes and have more like natural conversations as we talk about sports and stuff outside of their sport. So yeah, we can just start off. I mean, Stanford has been a athletic powerhouse for years. And how does it feel for us to have like athletes going to the Olympics this year?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's pretty crazy. Like I saw the NCAA post that like Stanford has the most athletes going to the Olympics this year, and it's like also so cool that it's like current and past athletes, right? So it's like literally some of the people that we like go and are in the same dining hall with every day during the school year. Some of our teammates that like we're in the same locker room with, they're like on the same track as like it's just really cool to see people around you accomplishing like something like that, right? Like every athlete like dreams of the Olympics, even if they don't actually dream of the Olympics, you know, like it's still like that's like the big thing that every athlete like knows about. So it's really cool.
I'd say like for me, it's like coming in and like that was my first year last year. I'd say it was like strange to see in my eyes because like everyone was telling me, like, oh, like it's Stanford, just going there for an education, like it's Stanford, and that people really are like doing their thing on like their sports side. So being able to see like, wow, like we really can do it all. Like people here at Stanford are doing everything. Like they're balancing a really hard workload, and they're also competing at like the Olympic level. And I know like I don't know if they're counting only the Summer Olympians too, but also seeing how there's also like Winter Olympians and being able to balance like schoolwork and or they may have to take a leave of absence, like seeing that happen too is really cool and seeing how people like are able to have a really good balance. And it's like shows that dang, like Stanford really can do it all. So yeah.
No, I think the coolest part is like, I mean, with football, particularly, like we don't not really involved in the Olympics, but it is cool seeing like kind of like seeing your peers that you see are, working out all the time, and you just kind of see them around. This is what you hope for them. So seeing them kind of be able to achieve these things, and so I've seen a couple people that are, back for the I don't know why they were back, but they were back training. And it's just like, wow, you're about to be in the Olympics. So it's super cool to kind of like Madison was saying, like seeing people kind of achieve their dreams really.
Speaking of being here on campus for the summer and preparing for the upcoming school year, I mean, our school is going to the ACC. Or Jason, how does that schedule kind of look for you guys this year?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely adds a couple more like cross country games, which is exciting. I think the most exciting part is we get to see some new opponents. We get to play in some new stadiums. Um, we get to, play some new competition, which I think is really fun. I mean, last year the Pac-12, at least for football, was super competitive, and I think the ACC will be no different. Um, so a lot of our away games are kind of close. Like we do play some like local away games. It brings a nice new like fresh feel to the season.
Madison, Dylan, for track, I mean, not a ton of people understand how track meets exactly work. So how does it look when you guys are changing conferences to now be in the ACC?
Uh
Dylan, you can take that if you
yeah,
want.
I can take it. So I guess in the Pac-12 we didn't have an indoor conference meet for se. So I guess now we're like we're planning on more like running faster in the indoor season. So that means that our training will look different in the fall. Maybe we're gonna start sprinting and doing more like high intensity stuff earlier. And also, I guess how track meets kind of work, there's no like, even though we're technically in the Pac-12 conference, or we were, or we're going to be in the ACC conference now, not every meet has to be with ACC schools. So for a majority of our outdoor meets and indoor meets, we're going to be staying on the west side of the country until our conference meet, where we're going to go to whether it be like Virginia, like South Carolina, maybe Florida if it's Florida State. So you're still gonna have to go over there for the conference meet, but every meet doesn't have to be on that side. So for us at least, it's not that crazy of adjustment. Like we don't need to travel as much as Jason may need to, or the football team or soccer team.
Women's basketball, men's basketball. Well, actually, I only know of women's basketball. We'll have games on Thursdays and Sundays. So that means that we're probably going to be leaving campus on like a Wednesday and getting back Sunday night. So basically, in the heat of the season, we're not really going to be on campus at all. Like when we have these major travel weeks. So that'll definitely be an adjustment, hoping for some more online classes to pop up. But those plane rides are going to be, I'm hoping they have Wi-Fi so we can do homework, you know?
Also, just like talking about the ACC, I'm actually coming back. I'm in the airport right now, coming back from this thing. It was called the ACC Unity Tour. So basically, all 18 schools, because 18 now, in the ACC had around like 2 to 4 athletes like per school, and then like some administrators or like academic advisors or just like coaches with each school. And we kind of, it was located in Charleston. So we kind of just like went around Charleston, South Carolina. We learned about the like history of the city. So like we learned about the history of the city, and we also like participated in different volunteer events. One group went to the Ronald McDonald House. My group went to a food bank, and another group went to like a reading organization. And it was just really cool, actually. Like I met a lot of athletes from different schools in the conference, and like all of them were like so cool. And I feel like it was a very like welcoming. Like I was like, oh, like we're in this new conference now. Like this is like cool. Like I already know people in this conference. Especially I met a lot of track and field people. So I was like, oh, like good luck with your season. Like I'll see y'all at conference hopefully. So that was pretty cool. So it's like exciting to be in the new conference also. I feel like
Do you think maybe like with being in the ACC, and I know that a lot of our games and matches and I think even meets might be on ESPN or ESPN Plus rather than Pac-12 Network, which went dark like a good little bit ago. Do you think like the national attention will also bring in more stuff, like more visibility?
I think so, yeah. I feel like it'll be good in terms of like student athlete visibility and like NIL and like recognition.
We kind of got away from it last year a little bit, but like my freshman year especially, we played a lot of night games, like a lot of Pac-12 after dark games. And if you're on the East Coast, like you're not watching those games, like it's too late. So, now that we're playing some of like the East Coast schools, I think a lot of our schedule will probably be well, we won't play as many like night games. We'll probably play some more day games and like afternoon games, maybe early evening games. So I think in that respect, um, we'll have more like kind of not like we'll have more eyes on the games from different places just because of something small logistical like that. With the addition of, I think the ACC is like, especially with everything happening, like there's a lot of attention on, conference realignment and whatnot.
I think it's also gonna be pretty cool, at least on the track side. One thing that's kind of like I'm thinking about is like when I was at the Pac-12 meet, it was kind of like one of the first times to be like they tried to stream it at least. And like sometimes you'll be waiting at the line, they're like, we're on a TV break, sorry. And then like you just have to wait there awkwardly. You're just like waiting next to everyone. It's kind of funny, like, but other than that, I think it's really good for track, like a smaller sport that's like starting to grow more in popularity. And it's already kind of difficult to find it like on like try to stream it. Because I remember when I was like an incoming freshman, I was trying to watch like the Pac-12 championships. I couldn't even find it. So I think being able to have things you can watch and watch your teammates if you're at home or like an incoming student will also like allow you to like see how they compete and like have more morale for the school and the team. So I think it's good.
No, the TV timeouts are no joke. I don't know what they're like in basketball, but like, bro, for football, you'll be like, it's like it feels like it's like every two plays where like someone will score, right? And then they'll do the PAT, and this guy will comes out with like a stick and yeah, it has like a big clock on it. And he stands there in field and just spins it in circles. And it's like 3 minutes and it just counts down. You're like, all right, we have 3 minute TV timeout. Like everybody's like kind of ready to like get going. Especially if you're playing a night game, it's cold. If you're playing at Washington State, it's raining. Yes, just like that. We Washington State, it's like pouring. You're like, bro, can we like get to going? Can we play? Time runs out. You're like, all right, we get to kick off now after we scored. We kick off, boom, the guy like fair catches it, doesn't even return it. Guy walks out with the stick again. 5 minute TV timeout. I'm like, bro, we've played 20 seconds of football in like 10 minutes. Um, so yeah, those TV timeouts do get wicked in football. It's pretty funny.
Basketball, they're so regular that like we know there's a TV timeout once every quarter, usually like five, like halfway through the quarter, um, for women's basketball because we're in quarters, not men's basketball in halves. I have no idea how theirs work. It's really
That's probably pretty weird. Yeah.
I know that when we know that like okay, Pac-12 network game, our TV timeouts are going to be pretty short. Like, well, it'll be not much longer than a full timeout. If it's an ESPN game before, we've been sitting there like for a good minute after Tara would just be like kind of sitting and like looking around because like we've talked about everything. We've
Yeah.
gone over matchups. We've gone over like what we are doing wrong, and then at that point, it's like you're just talking to talk.
Mhm.
But moving right along, talking about like track and stuff, Madison, Dylan, revisiting the whole Olympic stuff, because I mean, you got some major teammates, former teammates that have made it for their respective countries. Like, and I know Madison, you referenced like talking in, or they're in the locker rooms with you. Um, like Dodie and Juliet, for example.
I think it was for me coming in like Doty was like the pinnacle. Like, okay, this is what you're gonna do at Stanford. Like this is like he did everything. Like and I think it's so cool seeing like he's continuing to have that same excellence on the upper like the next level in the pro circuit and even qualify for the Olympic team. So I know like a lot of track and like is like okay, like yeah, we have the world championships, but everyone's really thinking about the Olympics. And it's like once every like 4 years, and it's a really hard thing to do. So be able to see that like people are coming through Stanford and doing that, it was like wow. It's like okay, like be like I can like it's still like it's inspiring to me and like other people on the team. It's like okay, like, we have something to push for too. Like these are the people you're training with in practice. Like they're gonna like hold you accountable. Like you keep up with them, you can like improve. And it's like it's really cool to see. And touch on Juliet as well. I know it's like a different Matt's gonna have a different probably thing to say about that because that's like more for she sees her more often as she's on the women's team. But I think it's really cool being able to see like when we're finishing up our practices or they're coming to practice, like you can see like Juliet, Roisin, these other like really talented athletes practice and like being able to know like, okay, like I can't slack off. Like this is what they're doing. This is the people that are the best are doing. Like I can't like not take it serious. So I think it's a good thing to have and really cool to see how far they're going.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with what Dylan said. Like, obviously, for a track athlete, like world championships and like Olympics is like the pinnacle of our sport. And just like at watching Olympic trials, like Roisin Willis was in there, Juliet Whitaker was competing, Alyssa Jones was competing. And like even for them to just even get to Olympic trials and compete and like represent our school is like one like just like so inspiring already. And then of course we had Juliet who made it through and is like going to the Olympics. And that's just like it's just so inspiring and especially like knowing the person that Juliet is like she's very, like a very like bright light person like and I don't know it's just like I don't even know what else more to say about it other than it's like very inspiring to see like people that you're friends with and people that you're on the same team as like compete to that level and it just like motivates you to like work harder and to like keep working because everybody like accomplishes their goals at their own pace so it just reminds you that like the people you're around like influence you and so like if they can do these things like you can work hard to do the things that you really want to do also
Yeah.
and then also shout out Dodie too he's going to the Olympics representing Nigeria then we have like a good amount of alumni too that I have it right here let me pull it up yeah Grant Fisher Harrison Williams Juliet Whitaker obviously Elise Kearney Valerie Allman, Udodi, and Mackenzie Little. So it's pretty cool to have like a program that is sending people to the Olympics. So
I think it's also really nice, like kind of offside the track too. Like I know, like well, kind of not really completely disconnected from the track, but there's been times for me, like when I was adjusting here and being able like to talk to like Dodie and Alyssa especially, who are like Olympic caliber athletes, and ask like how they've managed to like deal with the pressure, the anxiety, and it really helps to see like okay, like these things I'm feeling are not like just a me thing. Like even the people who are the best have to like go through these points and like have to have times where they question like, hey, am I still really like am I still really him or her? Like can I do this? And like I think being able to talk to people who are at that point that you want to get to is something that's really useful to have. And I know a lot of other programs don't have that, and it kind of makes Stanford like really, really nice to be at.
Like for you guys, Madison, Dylan, how's your off-season training going?
So I've been like doing workouts with my I've been lifting and basically running, but it's way harder to like do it without a team, I'd say, because like sometimes like it's just starting to really pick up. Like we just really start getting consistent workouts now for the summer season, but like I know once the tempo and like the conditioning really is difficult, like it'll be hard to like motivate myself to get up to the like the line, like do the next rep. So I have my old coach come into the workouts and time me, so like he at least holds me accountable. So, but I know like some people don't have the privilege of that, so I know it can be difficult of like going out there and like okay, I'm gonna give my best effort every rep without people watching. So.
yeah, I agree with them. Like it definitely does get hard to go out there sometimes, or at least to like keep doing the reps. Like it's sometimes a little too easy when you have like repeat 200s to be like, oh, I have 10, like, but at 8, you're like, all right, like I've done enough. But I'm also fortunate enough to like have my dad, he's at home here too. So like I'll go out to the track with him or like go to the weight room with him. So just like, putting in the work, trying to get ready for the season. So yeah, it doesn't look like it's not super heavy because you don't want to burn out. We have a long season, but still putting in work.
So Jason, how does your team kind of feel preparing for fall camp?
Yeah, the energy is really good right now. Right now our workouts consist mainly of like a conditioning run, some sort of like we'll do like 7-on-7 or like some sort of competition type of yeah, like 7-on-7 after we do like individual work with our position groups. And then we'll go in, we'll do lift. Um, so it's right now everything is kind of static, like kind of monotonous. But we get a couple more meetings with the coaches, a couple workouts with the coaches before we get into camp. And I think it'll really kind of um, reignite that spark. Like, okay, let's get ready to really get into the depth of it because we go straight from camp into season. But I think the team has done really well at like because this sometimes can be a hard time to like even though you're getting on the season like before camp, guys like okay, this is my last time to have some time to myself or whatnot. So it could be hard to get a whole team to buy in. But I think our team's made a big deal about that, about taking this part of the season really seriously. And everybody's really excited, especially with everything we talked about before with the conference realignment and all that good stuff.
And I mean, as an upperclassman now, how do you feel? But how does it feel now? Like, I'm assuming that some of the freshmen, maybe sophomores, are now like looking up to you and asking you questions. How does it feel?
No, I feel it's a dope feeling to, especially with the brand new class coming in. Obviously we have like pretty big classes. Um, and it's crazy because like there's a couple guys in the class that like I like watched them grow up. Like these were some of my good friends' little brothers, like dudes that close family friends. We trained together growing up. Like it's cool to see them kind of, you know, follow their dreams and get to where we all talked about, being at and seeing them kind of succeed has been dope. And now that, like you're saying, as an upperclassman, you do kind of, those questions that, I was asking, the guys when I got here about like, the best way to take care of your body and doing these things, like it kind of, you feel like it falls on you to, give some of this wisdom and knowledge and kind of pass it down. And it's really fulfilling, you know what I mean? So I think for me, I can, speak on behalf, I think of a bunch of the other guys in my class too. Like we've really, I feel like brought this new class and even the rising sophomores along to a point where they're really going to be an integral part of this team and letting them know that like, yo, like get ready because we're going to need every one of you guys when it comes to the season.
And I mean, I feel like without talk or can't talk about college football right now without talking about, I mean, the video game that's coming out.
It's a super cool little addition. Like all the guys, I mean, everybody's kind of like you said, everybody's talking about it, and it's cool. We've seen like kind of trailers coming out or guys that are like streamers or whatnot playing it early. And some of them will play against Stanford, play at Stanford, and we're sending like little clips in the group chat of like, hey, like, oh, I see you, Z, making the tackle or forcing the fumble, like in these random clips of your character, of you as a video game character. And it's just super cool to just see, I don't know, it's a cool way to like appreciate some of your teammates. You know what I mean? And you see, obviously they're not the ones making the plays, but who doesn't want to see themselves in a video game getting a pick six or whatnot? Um, so I think everyone's really excited to kind of, I'm excited to get the game and go look at my character and see what my stats are looking like and whatnot. It's a cool little break from the kind of monotony and seriousness that comes with, when you're really in the zone, I think. Um, and I guarantee you that in a lot of that, we get a couple hours off time during camp, like before, after practice, pre-bed. It's going to be a lot of college football playing, EA playing, I can imagine.
But outside of sports, like what are some things that you've been doing? I know that JT, you've been working on a passion project of yours, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, me and my friend Athena are working on a short film, something that I've kind of wanted to do for a little bit. Um, I want to get into production and get into, film production down the line. So it's cool to this is my first one. So I'm excited. Hopefully keep everybody updated with it. But it's been a cool process, something that you've like spent a lot of time looking into and like, put obviously like when you have a hobby or something that you're interested in, like you spend a lot of time watching videos and like doing research, reading books and whatnot. But to actually like put the pen to paper and be driving around in locations and like talking to store owners about filming in places, like it feels very real. Which is super exciting, a little stressful, but um I'm excited to really continue the process and eventually get to that finished product.
I know that we can't wait to hear updates and see that final project.
Sure.
So good luck, good luck.
Appreciate it.
You guys have like a plan, like is it planned to drop like sometime in the summer and sometime in the fall? Like you guys have
For
like
the
a
drop,
yeah.
so the plan is to finish the filming before we start school, and then post-production with like editing and whatnot will probably take a little bit, but I mean first quarter ideally. Um, but no, yeah, it's rolling for sure.
I'm ready to watch it, bro. I'm ready to see. I'm ready to see this work. I'm ready to see see what it's about.
With season and everything, probably, with season and like we get into camp, like definitely some, not a crazy amount of time, but I think before we really get too deep into camp and whatnot, we'll be able to get ready to head into post production, which um will not be as involved on my end with like driving around to different places and whatnot. Handle a lot of that more remotely, which is dope.
Yeah. Dylan, you have any fun things that you've been doing over your break from school?
Not as like fun or like interesting as like what Jason's doing, but I've just been hiking a lot more because I'm moving back to Michigan in the summer, in like August 15th. So I know I like want to like do some things in Washington for the last few months I'm here or last month I'm here now. So yeah, I've just been hiking a lot, seeing a lot of friends. A lot of my friends are here actually because of internships. So I've been able to hang out with them and meet some new people. So that's really been fun. As like when I moved here, I didn't really know a lot of people. So it's been nice to actually like, oh yeah, go out, like do something in Seattle with some more people. And yeah, it's been like just chilling, I'd say for the most part this summer.
When did you move from Michigan to Seattle?
In like August of 2020. So I moved here my sophomore year, I started my sophomore year in high school. So I really only lived in Seattle for like three, almost 4 years, but I'd say it's like I did a lot more like independent things here where I kind of say, like, okay, like I kind of know more about Washington somewhat, like in like terms like the city and I mean, Seattle more about the city and stuff. So I usually just say I'm from Washington. It's a hard thing to explain, but yeah.
Back to Midwest. You excited to go or like to be back in Michigan, or is it?
Mm, I feel like I like the culture of the West a little bit more, but and it's convenient because when I have breaks, it's like a 2 hour flight
Yeah.
from like Stanford to Washington, vice versa. But I guess it'll be nice, like, because we're the only part of our family who's out here, so I really miss my family and seeing them. So I'm really excited to see them when I go back. But like, I feel like Washington's just I like Washington way more than Michigan in terms of like the scenery, like the cities, and just like the whole state. But it's like the family's there in Michigan, so I want to see them too. That's family's worth more. So
Yeah, what about you, Lo? What have you been up to?
Um, what have I been doing for real? That's a great question. Why am I blanking? Um, I've been like drawing. I mean, I like drawing shoes, as you guys probably know, but yeah, I'm interested in sneaker design. So I've been doing a couple of things with that, like practicing drawing, talking to a couple of people from the industry and trying to like pick their brains on where to start and stuff. And I haven't like I got an internship through Lifetime Cardinal. Shout out the collective.
Shout out Lifetime
Love our
Cardinal.
collective. So that's been going pretty well too. And yeah, just honestly, a lot of my free time is sleeping because these practices are intense. We play pickup as well. Like we're trying to get as much time on the court so we can get used to our team. Okay. Any any remaining thoughts, things you want to talk about before we start to wrap this up?
I think no, I think this was dope. I feel like we covered a lot of really cool stuff and like I don't know, I'm excited to I mean, I feel like I mean, especially with realignment, there's obviously a lot of new stuff, but I feel like even within each sport, like there's a lot going on, a lot of exciting stuff going on. So I'm excited to, see how everything pans out for everybody.
Before we wrap up, if you guys want to shout out like your social media handles if you want to, you can I don't know if any listeners are interested in getting to know more about you, following yourself as a brand, you know?
For sure. Yeah, my Instagram is Jason JT Thompson. Um, Go and keep up with me over there.
mine is at like Dylan Dylan Davis with another S and then two. So
Yo, yo.
And mine is underscore Lolo Green, no E at the end, just like the color. And I'm trying to pull up Madison so I can
yeah.
shout her out so I don't forget. Um,
Shout out Madison.
Oh yeah, hers is nice. Madison's is at Madison underscore Romain, so you can keep up with her there as well. Um, thank you guys for hopping on this podcast episode of Tree Talk. Really appreciate you. Um, yeah,